Come on, Tux. Let's go. Come on. I already had him up here to his bowl one time, but I guess when I went to feed the other guys, he wanted to see what was happening. I know there's not a lot of chicken in there, but there's a little. Eat breakfast. Thank you. Hey, Mart. The GFCI keeps tripping on the carport. That sucks. I don't know what's going on. My inflatable should be up. Either that or Dawn changed my timer because it's peak electricity from 6 to 9. Maybe they're going to come up at 9 o'clock now. Which would be fine because I'm not usually out here a whole lot before 9. I'll have to go talk to him about it. It's probably the GFCI. Oh, it's a nice morning. We'll get out here on our walk in a little bit. Come back and do the water. I think Don's got breakfast about done. Bacon and eggs, baby. I'm gonna be late for bacon and eggs.
Right, well, it's almost done.
Hey, buddy. Good morning. Hello. Neighbors using their blower. Hey, bud. Glasses tried to fall off my nose. Oops. They did fall. Ah, sorry, buddy. You're hungry. Goodness. Well, you enjoy it. Hey, Stripe. Hey, buddy. That's my azalea bush you're rubbing up against. We've got more tulip poplar leaves down over here, but I'd say the lawn still looks like I just mowed it. I will take it. And my flowers are still blooming. Good morning. Hi. Did you have a fight with your rug down there? I'll sort it out for you, sweet thing. Hi. Here you go. I see you ate most of the chicken in that bowl. You're almost back to normal eating. And Mom's got some more editing to do, so we should be good. I'll come sit with you. You can be my helper again. You're such a good girl. Tux, you should be careful, buddy. You're getting your tail wet while you're rubbing your chin on the side of the chair. You're getting your tail wet. Alright, all the water stuff is done for the morning. I enjoy walking around out here. And my guys all followed me and got extra pets, and we're happy. Morris is gone to do Morris things, but the other 3 are back here and in a good mood. Uh-oh. You had a helper, huh, with the paper?
Yeah.
So give us an update on the electricity stuff.
Oh, right, sure. So Duke did publish the new rate schedule. They now call them leafs. And we're on leaf, L-E-A-F, 502. I don't know what that means, but that's what it's called.
It's a branch of a tree, or a,
well, it's
who
like
knows?
I think it has to do with an insert in a bigger document. I think, I don't know.
Okay.
They're called leaf. It's very clear. It's leaf 502.
Okay.
So the long and short of it is the peak rate, on peak rate, I wrote it down. I said I wrote it down. Oh, here it is 27.653 cents per kilowatt hour. 27.6 cents per kilowatt hour.
So that's 5 cents more than it used to be.
3 cents probably.
Okay.
It's in the ballpark. It's not a significant change. The off-peak rate is 10.467. So compared to the old, what we called off-peak, which was about 9 cents, that's a 1.5 cent increase at least. So, but now remember, there's no shoulder. It's also about a 1.5 cents less than the old shoulder rate. The old shoulder rate was just under 13 cents. So the new discount rate is 6.814 cents per kilowatt hour, and with the 3% sales tax, that brings it up just like 7.01 cents per kilowatt hour. So when we charge the cars, it's basically 7 cents a kilowatt hour. So when people ask us how much do we pay to charge the car, it's 7 cents a kilowatt hour. That's the number I would give.
Now the discount is only between 1 and 3 a.m.?
Right, I'm depending on in the non-summer months, which is October through the end of April, 1st of October to the end of April, non-summer. The discount hours are 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, and the only peak times is 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that first thing in the morning, those cold winter mornings, is when the demand's really high. That's the peak rate. So that's when it's going to affect us. You know, it's very interesting that, and I get why they charge peak rates, but I would tell you most people are not going to be able to do anything about their electricity rate from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. on a winter morning. They're going to turn the heat on. It's going to be whatever the heat takes is what the heat's going to take. So I realize, you know, might as well make hay while the sun's shining, is basically, so Duke is saying, well, we're going to have to, we could charge $1 a kilowatt hour and it probably wouldn't matter. It wouldn't change the actual demand because people are going to heat their house. It's one thing to shift your laundry, charge your car,
wash your dishes,
maybe even turn up the air conditioner a little bit. But you know, when you get up and the house is cold, people are going to turn on the heat. It's just that simple.
Right.
So anyway, I question. I mean, I totally understand, but it's interesting. There's no. I don't really think. I mean, at some point you could charge it at $5 a kilowatt hour, and people would just say, "Well, just go around cold, because we can't afford to pay our bill. Just cut off my electricity." I mean, there is a number that you could charge that people would stop, but 26 cents a kilowatt hour, I don't like paying it, but I'm just going to pay it. In other words, I'm just going to pay whatever the 26 cents a kilowatt hour, period.
Well, what we really do is we get up at 8 on these summer months, but we might push it up till 8:30 on these winter months. And then by the time I'm really up and moving around, it'll be close enough to 9, and Don will just kick it on to more heat then. I could.
Right.
We do try to shift a little bit, but I'm
well, right, but we're one of the 1 or 2 people in the entire state that actually know there's a rate called time of use, and I mean, how many people have you talked to that knew any of this? I haven't.
There's a handful of people. The percentage relative to the total population is low.
Yeah.
There's more than a handful, but it's low. So I haven't listened to the videos Dawn filmed yesterday for us yet. I'm working on that video, but for the first time ever, the cars are allowed to charge during the middle of the day.
That's right.
From 11 to 4. So that has 2 implications. Number one, Marianne, don't freak out if the car's charging during the middle of the day, because that would have been not emergency, but a real right. Thought through need to plug in. We did that one time last year.
Right.
And then the other thing is you know, I don't plug Ruby in every time I come home because there's no reason, because she's not going to charge before 8 p.m.
That's right.
So now, just a minor more thought. Yeah, I've driven 100 miles today, but this morning early, I'm home. It's 1 in the afternoon. Maybe I want to go ahead and plug her in so she'll charge between 1 or 4. I'm not going back out. Well, I mean, for me, it's always been when I think I'm home for the last time of the day, I plug her in. Pretty much, right. Especially on school days. Now, there's a chance I'll make more of an effort to plug her in during the day.
Right. Well, this is going to be an interesting thing, because remember, Duke came out with that new $25 a month electric vehicle charging program. It's limited to only like 100 people. So, you know,
and not Teslas.
but no Teslas. But it'll be interesting to see if it comes around what opens it up to anybody, including Teslas, what the restrictions are, if you have to use a special charger or whatever. I'm just trying to say now that there isn't a nice 10 or 12 hour block, because we used to go from 8 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning. So literally we had a 10-hour window in the winter time, in the non-summer months. We had a 10-hour window to charge the car. So as you said, whatever you got done driving during the day, early evening, you just plug her in, and Ruby'd start charging at 8 p.m. and almost always was done charging by 6 a.m.
Yeah, let me say it a different way. If I was still driving back and forth to Raleigh every day, this would irritate me, because I'd be getting 2 hours of discount in the middle of the night, which would not charge Ruby back up.
That's right.
And I might be home between 11 and 1, but then I wouldn't be back home before 4, and I think we would have trouble getting Ruby 100% charged back up on the discount rate.
Using just only the
discount rate. I think we would have trouble.
That's right. That's
but now it doesn't matter so much. But the old plan, this is just the housewife's perspective, not Dawn's perspective. The old plan was reasonable to keep up with. I had learned it. We've been on it since
6 years.
2017 sometime.
Yeah.
I would ask Dawn a question. We really wanted to be able to program it into A. So when I wanted to know what the rate was, I wanted to tell A the rules and say, hey, A, can I dry my clothes right now? Is it peak? Is it off peak?
Yeah.
And her answer me. The chart on the wall was good, but the old Duke chart was a little hard to read. So it's better just to memorize it in your head. But this new one, just to me, it seems more complicated. And
right. And I haven't even bothered to focus on the summer hours, because they don't kick in until May 1st next year.
Yeah, you got time.
I will learn it by then. But the rates are the same, the peak and all that. But the actual hours, I don't remember now. Except for I think we get more in the middle of the night from 1 a.m. to like 6 a.m. or something like that. That's the discounted time. You get a bigger... The discount time in the middle of the night in the non-summer months is shorter, because the heating. As more and more people use heat pumps and electric heat, even in the middle... The electricity demand in the middle of the night is going to go up, which... it is. I mean, that's nothing wrong. It's just that the problem at 6 a.m. in the morning, everybody gets up and they throw their heat up from, let's say, 65 up to 68. Well, that's going to kick the heat strips on, and that's what Duke really probably needs to address, is the heat cause, because the heat pump itself, our heat pump, the unit itself, only pulls about 2.1 kilowatts when it's on high speed. So that's not that bad, but when the heat strips kick on, the heat strips themselves are 7.5 kilowatts. So basically the heat strips are 3 times the amount of energy when they run. Of course, they also get very warm and it heats the house up really quick too. That's the problem with the heat pump. At least the one we have, even though it works pretty well. When it gets below, in the low 30s even, it's really slow to heat the house up. It'll keep the house warm, don't misunderstand, but if the house is cold and you need to warm the house up, and it's 30 degrees outside, our heat pump pretty much won't do it. You have to kick the heat strips on in any reasonable amount of time. If you can wait 4 or 5 hours, it'll do it. But if you want to get it warm...
Women like heat strips.
Yeah.
I'm cold, go make my house warm. 10 minutes later, it's so warm you're probably taking your sweater off.
Right. I have to put the gizmo back. I took it off because I was having issues figuring out one of the features. But I will put the gizmo back.
The on-demand heat strips.
The on-demand heat strips. It allows us to, at will, turn the heat strips on.
Yeah, this is like I get up at 8:45, and at 9 o'clock, Dawn goes and flips the switch, baby, and heats that house up in the wintertime.
Well, I think in the wintertime it's, well, because that's going to be at 9 o'clock, it's going to be 10 cents, whatever I said. It's
Yeah.
going to be off peak.
Off peak. Not discount, but off peak.
Not discount.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10.467, so 11 cents a kilowatt hour.
Well,
I mean,
any way you look at it, we're paying more than we used to, and we're having to work harder to not pay even more than we'll be paying more. That's how I sum it up.
Right. I think that's exactly right, that we're going to have to work harder than.
And we just talked to you guys about it because it's interesting channel content for EV owners and really any household owner trying to manage their electricity here. And since Don's mostly retired, we have time to deal with it, whereas a younger family with kids, school, work, jobs, they would just be...
Well, until we get batteries, or I mean the grid gets batteries, or we have plenty of stored energy, we don't have peaker plants. The electrification of home heating to reduce CO2, in other words, people getting rid of their gas furnaces, gas heaters, and switching to heat pumps. This first thing in the morning cold weather situation is going to be rampant. Yes, there's geothermal and other, but those are, you know, $30,000, $40,000 installations. So it's just people aren't going to. That's not going to work. So I think the simple answer, as I've said, is as we try to get rid of fossil fuels, the cost of electricity is just going to go up. It doesn't matter how much renewables we add; it's just going to go up.
Yeah, and I just want to remind our viewers who may or may not have been watching the day that we talked about it. We did have a solar company run the roof software on our house, and what was the RF something factor was less than like 27 or something.
Right. When he got done laughing and rolling on the floor, he spit it out. He said it was like 25 or 26.
It would be
under 30. That fact,
they wanted over 70 before they start considering putting solar on. I think he said something like that. So we were so far below the threshold for it making sense from a financial perspective that it was laughable.
Right. I mean, if you have money and you're not really cared about payback, you could put solar panels on anything you'd like. But, you know, the guy was basically being straightforward, is that, you know, there is... I'm going to say, there's no money, it's never going to pay for itself. If we put in solar, it would never pay for itself. No way, no how.
Right. And I think I said I didn't care about it paying for itself, but that's a whole nother story. And anyway, just so you know, we seriously, Don listened to me and we seriously considered it. And he did, as a salesman, I have to say, he didn't even remotely try to talk us into it. He's just like, I'm sorry, folks, your house isn't a good candidate. Yeah. And Don already knew this, but I needed to hear it because, well, over there on the asphalt parking area, it seems really hot in the afternoon over there. There's a lot of sun. But the problem is the garage roof faces the wrong way. Yeah. And the sun's not hitting the roof over there. And
it's only a couple months of the year that works that way. The rest of the thing is you need electricity 365 days a year.
But I tried. Don was reasonable, and the guy just stopped short of laughing at us. But just so you know, we considered solar, and we don't have natural gas out here in the streets in our neighborhood. We'd have to have a tank installed or something. Yeah, it's just not. It's nothing easy for us of using anything but electricity. So. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's just the way.
Not working today. No trucks here, but a Ting truck down by the lift station. But the poles are still here, and the spool is still here. So. And
there's orange still up there. That's not
finished.
They've got those insulators on there because they wanted it. That's a temp. I think they're still not done up there. They wouldn't have those.
Yep, I agree, but just not working today.
Right. Just
well, where is everybody?
Well, there wasn't anybody in the parking lot but us.
That doesn't count. That's the
city guy.
Yeah. He gets paid to show up.
It's quiet over here. Don's right. Yeah, I mean, there are obviously stuff up there that won't be up there long term. That's like a vice grip without the handle connected to the one cable. I'm just studying. It's kind of an interesting piece of equipment.
I would tell you all that stuff is live up there. Those are temporary connections. They'll probably come by with a recloser or some other mechanism. I mean, maybe they just put insulators up there and they'll put the permanent, but those are temporary, the orange
Oh,
ones.
so that's actually transferring electricity from one line to the other line?
That's right. That thing's live up there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's 100% live. There's no doubt.
And to be clear, the line across the property right over top of where we think they want to put the house has not been removed.
Right.
But
Yeah.
again, they're not done.
They're not done. And also, I would tell you that that pole right there, I'm telling you what's going to happen is this wire, this way to that, at least to the, all the way across to that next pole, not this one, but the next one, is going to go away.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
So
expecting.
the power's going to come down there, turn 90 degrees, go over there, go down there, turn 90 degrees, and hook back up.
Yeah,
It's going to go around that lot.
Right, well that's, I'm guessing, I have surmised, my deductive reasoning is that I agree with you 100% is that's got to go away because they want to build a house there and that wire is basically making the lot unusable. But they could be doing other stuff at the same time, who knows.
Well, it's interesting how much cooperation they got from the, because that was very expensive. They had 6 trucks out here for 2 weeks. With all those crews,
Yeah.
I mean, that had to cost $100,000.
Yeah, I don't know how that ever got that way in the first place without planning, or I don't know.
Oh, way cool. Look what I found.
Is that from up there?
I'm going to go put it over here.
Yeah.
Metal thing. They've got 2 of their metal things over here.
Yeah, well it might have...
Fiberglass.
Yeah, it didn't clink.
It didn't clink. They just looked like they were gray metal, but they're actually fiberglass.
Yeah. God, people. Well, I suspect the piece of metal got over there because somebody moved it. That
He probably just dropped it and forgot to go pick it up.
we talked to the guy over here for Ting, really nice young man, and basically begged him to go back and make sure they know we care. He's like, got money, willing to pay you. Come put fiber at our house. Yeah, I'm getting somewhere between 12 and let's just say 18 megabytes upload speed, and it's not cutting it, and something's happened in the last 4 weeks. Either Google Drive is throttling me or Spectrum has gotten even slower than it was, even though it says it's fast. It's really not. I don't know. I'm having a lot of issues uploading content. It's almost double the amount of time it was taking me before. So I'm ready to work on the videos at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I've, started my upload at the same time or even a little earlier, and stuff that normally would be uploaded and ready for me to go, it's not ready. It's not ready. And T-Mobile 5G we still have as a backup. It's not any faster. One night it was faster, but most of the time it's not faster. That service is not really helping us. So it doesn't look like did they mow? It doesn't look like they mowed, but something turned around and put...
Around here, it's got really wide wheels. Somebody backed the city pickup truck down there.
Yeah. I was gonna... Oh, I missed that. Really? At the...
Back up in the lift station.
Okay. Yeah, from time to time they seem to be measuring something over there.
Yeah.
Be the king of the burgers today?
I haven't seen one of those in years.
I played with those when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, they're that old. It's a little warm out here.
Yeah, well, we did the pogo route first, which is longer and takes us over by the basketball court, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of trash today and a lot of pending over. We've only missed 2 days, but they were really pretty weekend days, so one time around the track and then we'll head back out. I ran into Harris Teeter for a couple of chickens, some frozen peas, and I got some Neiman Ranch pork chops. They're continuing to make progress on the new parking lot.
Sidewalk and curb,
Yeah.
which which makes sense.
Yep. Well, it's going to be nice.
You got some.
Yeah, I saw a Facebook post last night where the town said something like after this gets done, there's going to be, they count 700 parking spaces downtown.
Wow.
That seemed a smidge high to me, but okay. And they're talking about both sides of the railroad track, the Fuquay side and the Varina side. Yeah, it was kind of funny in the post, some of the comments are that people were talking about this being downtown, the part we just went past. Well, that's not downtown. I mean, it's inside of Fuquay proper, or Fuquay Varina proper, but it's really the Varina side, and this is straight ahead is downtown. I guess it's how long you've been here and what your perspective is. If aviator and beer is the only thing you care about, then you probably think that's downtown over there.
Yeah, well, this, back when this had the Belks and a few other things, the big bank and all that stuff, this was a little bit more booming. Varina was sort of a big yawn.
Yeah.
But now Varina has all the little shops and stuff, and the big aviator, which is probably short of after Walmart, probably, other than the retail stores, aviator is probably the biggest tax generator.
Yeah, well, here's the municipal building,
Yeah,
where the mayor is and stuff. That's the, you know, town offices and...
Yeah, but that just moved.
Right. Well, the police department was over here, but now it's moved, and it's not in either section. It's kind of just on Judd Parkway. Anyway, here's the Chamber of Commerce isn't taking over this old bank building. Been there for a while, though. That's not a new thing. I don't know. I think most people that live here for a while consider this to be Main Street. It is Main Street and downtown. Then over there where Aviator is, it's Broad Street. Hey, you. I saw nighttime is coming up to say hello. Big boy was in. I've got the little door open so they can come visit. I mean, she looks totally over whatever little thing she had going on with her. So, and the vet told me not to really worry about it catching because these are all, you know, older kitties and they've been exposed before, and I wasn't too worried anyway. This little one, if I don't open the little kitty door, she gets jealous and she starts getting upset at the door. But this is more about your time. It's more about your time. I've got about 30 minutes before I've got to start meal prep. I'm making the modified cauliflower mash shepherd's pie tonight. So there's going to be about an hour's worth of food prep stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put the windows and stickers on the greenhouse and see if I can't build the carnivorous plant that goes inside of there. And finish up the Mystery Mansion. The windows are all taken care of. I built the plant. It's not the right colors, but it's all the parts. Although I think the two jaws are one smidge bigger than they're supposed to be. I've got one other sticker to supply. Still need to pull a few minifigs. But it's, I have started cooking and I need to really go concentrate on that. I'm probably just going to pull some minifigs and work on the pumpkin house while dinner's cooking or after dinner or something. It's coming along nicely. I'll be putting it in the oven in just a minute. Here's the cauliflower mash ready to go on top. And poof, there it is.
Yum.
I think Don had 3 servings of the Marianne shepherd pie. He was really enjoying it. I enjoyed it too. So it's 7, and I told Don I want to work on the pumpkin house for at least an hour. I mean, I'm really close to being done with it, but I don't know that I'll finish tonight. But I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on it a little bit. I'm stopping for the night. And I did about what I figured I would get done. I've got all of the outer trim done on the top floor. And I'm working on the patio, and then I got to build the cap. And I think there's something else that goes in the yard here. So it's more than I can finish tonight. It's 8:30. You can kind of see that gray piece up there, but it's one of those things that's like, well, the next time I place an order, hopefully they'll have that in orange, and I can then swap it out. It's not, you know, going to be hard to swap it out or really cause me a problem or anything, but it is, you can see it a little bit. But I'm happy with what I did tonight, and I'm happy with how it's coming along.